Are you preparing for CLAT 2026? Super disappointed with CLAT 2025? Do not want to repeat mistakes in the next year? It's okay. I've got you covered. Here is an in-depth study plan for 12 months to conquer CLAT 2026. All right, let's get into it, okay? The entire plan is divided into months, all right? So what will you start with? The first 3 months, the first to third month, you will build your basic foundation, okay? You will build your concept, okay? How will you build foundation? You will first start with understanding the exam pattern. What does the exam demand from me? A lot of students give one mock. Okay, why? Because it's an aptitude test. A majority of these skills are already inside you. Okay, the math is basic. There's GK, current affairs. Language is very basic again. So it will check your current aptitude if you decide to give one mock beforehand. Then you can start with looking at previous year papers and just assess the level of difficulty. Okay, then always start your reading practice. The biggest problem, biggest of all, is the reading speed. Okay, that is where students suffer. They prepare all the concepts well. But what happens is, they come out of the exam hall stating, ये तो आता था, 1 मिनट और मिल जाता ना तो ये कर लेते या इधर से भी मार्क्स निकाले जा सकते थे. So that is the worst thing that could have happened with you during the exam. So avoid it altogether by increasing your reading speed beforehand. How will you do that? You will start reading editorials from the Hindu and the Indian Express daily, and you will improve your reading speed. Monthly, take your reading speed test. Okay, there are multiple softwares and websites where you can take your reading speed test. Maintain an Excel sheet where you can record how many words per minute can you read currently. Set a study routine, okay, ideally 2 to 3 hours for people who are in school, okay, in school, have their tuitions, have their coachings, have their sports coaching and everything else. वो सब हटा के at least 2 to 3 hours you should give to CLAT, because CLAT is very competitive. Okay, there are people who started the preparation from like grade 10, grade 9. So you're competing with like seasoned players. So to set out as a competitor yourself, you have to dedicate at least 2 to 3 hours. And if you're a dropper, wonderful, double that time. 4 to 5 hours if you are a dropper, have no school commitments, then only commit to CLAT. Okay, divide the time equally and obviously start with vocabulary and grammar. Vocabulary is like an ocean. Okay, it is never enough. The more you do, it is never enough. So always start with vocabulary. Okay, what will you do for vocabulary? You will start your word power made easy. It is a Bible for anybody who's preparing for competitive exam that targets vocabulary. Right, now from months 4 to 5, you will strengthen the core. How will you strengthen it? Okay, subject-specific preparation. Right now, it was a very general preparation where I was just upping my reading skills and basic understanding of the exam. Now, I will focus on every single subject specifically. For English, I will start with my RCs and practice inference-based, which is our logical reasoning questions. Then you will start with current affairs and GK. That's also a non-negotiable. Has to be started ASAP. Okay, you will create a habit of reading daily headlines from the most popular and most important papers for CLAT. And then you will use monthly current affairs for revision. Everything important that happened in one particular month can be revised or can be caught up on at the end of that month. Legal reasoning ke liye, you will start with understanding basic legal principles, and you will practice some problem solving based on those principles. For logical reasoning, you will solve puzzles, syllogs, and critical reasoning questions. For quants, you will focus on basic arithmetic and DI questions. Mock test. It is always better to start your mock test as soon as you can. Okay, try to set out a target. Okay, at least 50 mocks मुझे exam से पहले करने हैं, या 30 mocks या 40. Some people target 100 mocks. It's completely subjective decision. Set an aim. Okay. If you start taking one mock test every 2 weeks in your 4th month, you can easily finish 50 mocks before your exam. Obviously, giving the mocks is not enough. Analysis is equally important, if not more important. Okay, so you can avoid repeating the same mistakes. Avoid having your score be stagnant. This is the worst thing to happen, stagnance. Okay, so to avoid that, analysis is absolute important. And then time management, again, this is a very much speed-based test. 120 questions, 120 minutes. I cannot give more than a minute to a question. How do I catch up on it? Okay, so you have to practice questions under timed circumstances and obviously not compromise on your accuracy. Do not do that. Investing 7 minutes in one RC and getting 2 marks is an absolute waste of those 7 minutes. So be very smart and be very calculative of the ROI on every question you're getting. Okay, months 5 to 6, you will now start speeding things up. How? Okay, you will increase your study hours. Maybe now your boards are over, or you can take some break from your schoolwork and focus or dedicate 4 to 5 hours here. Okay, allocate more time to weaker sections. Why? Because you started an analysis. Analysis कैसे होता है? Here you will write down my strengths and my weaknesses. You will work on your weaknesses from the 5th month. Okay, advanced preparation. For English, you will attempt more complex RCs. For legal, you will focus on landmark judgments. For LR, you will tackle advanced questions. So for quants, and then if you want, at month 6, you can join a coaching institute. If you feel like I am maybe lagging behind, Tarkashastra is offering some wonderful program at great discounts. So you can obviously always rely on us for some wonderful assistance and coaching for CLAT 2026. Current affairs and GK cannot be stopped and compromised at any stage of preparation. You will focus now both on static and dynamic topics and maintain thorough notes so you can revise them before the exam. Okay, now you will increase the mock test. Okay, you will now do 1 test per week. उधर था 1 test 2 weeks में, इधर every week you will be giving 1 mock test. And this is important because a lot of students, they commit silly mistake of marking the OMR wrong. So whenever you're doing these mocks, do it in the OMR sheet, okay? You feel like you will never do a mistake, a goofy mistake like that, but even the best of the best students commit a mistake like that. Okay, now from month 7 to 9, the practice will get a bit more intensive. How? Now you will be attempting 2 to 3 marks per week. You will review your answers to understand the mistakes and learn the correct approach. After working on your weak areas, now you will work on other areas. Okay, should I start with which section? Should I start with quant? Okay, if I start with quant, how is my progress going? If I start with verbal, how is the entire paper going? Because the first few minutes of the paper determines the mood for the rest of your paper. So you have to be in solid mood throughout. Okay, so what is the chronology, the design of your paper? That is, you have to start designing from the month 7 or 8. Sectional practice, okay, now you're done with concepts. Now you can start with sectional practice, okay? Just verbal. Today 40 minutes, I will only do verbal. Or 20 minutes, I will only do quants. Okay, 10 minutes, only GK questions I will do, not the entire paper. Okay, so there you can improve your sectional performance. GK and editorial brainstorming, again, you will not stop reading your editorials, and now you will start building your stamina. Okay, this will directly help build your stamina. If you are not able to solve the entire mocks, you can start with verbal sections, and then you can build your stamina for full-length mocks. Okay, 10 to 11 will be your final preparation. Okay, here you will start revising everything. You will work on your time management skills. Okay, how? You will experiment with different strategies, and then you will take regular breaks, obviously, to avoid burnout. You will also now start targeting and focusing more on weak areas. So now you're already milking your strengths well, but do not lose and compromise marks on weak areas. Okay, constantly keep, working on them instead of skipping them at the last. And now try to simulate those exam conditions. Okay, try to give it in a proper class or in a proper environment that mirrors the actual mock exam environment. Switch off your AC, maybe sometimes switch off your fan. That really matters. Okay, sometimes the centers are really bad and that directly impacts your performance. So try to stimulate such practices. Okay, now what will you do in your last month, that is 1 month before the final exam? Now you will do 4 to 5 mocks weekly. Okay, 4 to 5 mocks weekly, not daily. Okay, prioritize accuracy over attempting all questions. Maybe from the month 10 or 11, I want you to get comfortable with skipping. सारा टाइम जो था वीक एरियाज को इम्प्रूव करने में वो अभी निकल चुका है. 10 to 12 months में मे बी यू कैन स्टार्ट गेटिंग कंफर्टेबल विथ स्किपिंग क्वेश्चंस. ओके, नॉट गैम्बलिंग विद योर फ्यूचर. You will go through the last revision of revising all your GK and all your topics and all your current affairs, and then obviously go in a Zen mode, in a monk mode, okay, where you are in a very optimistic state of mind. All right, that's it. This was your in-depth 12-month study plan for CLAT 2026. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comment. If you're looking for some good assistance and coaching for your CLAT 2026, Targashastra has got you covered. Kindly call us on the number given in the description to inquire about all the programs and discounts and scholarship tests we offer for CLAT aspirants. Thank you so much for watching.